Thank you for choosing NYNJPA weather for your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm meteorologist Stephen DiMartino, and this is your weekend edition of the video discussions. Well, on Saturday morning, we had one of the first two cold fronts to start to move through the Northern Mid-Atlantic. This first cold front is basically a dry line. What I mean is that there really isn't much change in the air mass. It's still really warm out there, with temperatures pushing into the upper 80s to possibly lower 90s in the Philadelphia metropolitan area by Saturday afternoon. However, because of dry air behind this is basically all the dew points are going to fall this afternoon, eliminating any threat for any type of rainfall for this evening. Our second cold front that is currently over the Great Lakes will move through tonight, Saturday night, should I say, and it will produce possibly an isolated shower, but really the only real major change is going to be that the air mass is going to become much cooler. Instead of 80s, well, by Sunday afternoon, we're only going to be in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Now, we have an area of low pressure that is going to start to develop over the plains and eventually transition towards the Tennessee River Valley. Let's take a look at the upper level features right now. Okay, this is an upper level map as of Saturday morning from the Penn State EWAL website, an excellent website for a ton of meteorological data, including models, upper level dynamics, everything. Now, notice there's a strong disturbance over the northern plains. This disturbance is going to cut off from the polar jet stream, which is basically this jet stream with the ridge and a trough over the northern tier of the country. Well, that disturbance is going to dive south, intensify, and cut off from this pattern. And it's going to move towards the Tennessee River Valley. As the upper level intensifies, it's going to start to pull up a ton of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and then from the Atlantic. Meanwhile, our cold front that's associated with this disturbance over Quebec is going to lift north and east and exit into the northern Atlantic. Now, let's look at the pattern because I have it all set up for much of this week. Let's take a look. This is the basic idea of the entire pattern setting up for basically Sunday evening all the way through Friday. Our upper level low is going to set up over the Tennessee River Valley, initially over Illinois, and then transition towards the Ohio Valley towards the end of the week as the upper level low becomes picked up by the polar jet stream and lifts northeast. Well, while that's happening, we're going to have moisture come in from the Gulf of Mexico and move up the coast. Meanwhile, we have our cold front that's moving through Saturday night tonight, and it's going to stall off the New Jersey coast as a stationary cold front. Meanwhile, we have high pressure over Maine. Now, these factors are going to combine to set up an environment that is cool, wet, and just raw. What's going to happen is that the high pressure is going to push northeasterly winds into the northern mid-Atlantic, and that's going to send the winds coming off the Atlantic and send a marine air mass, basically a cool air mass, into the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area. Meanwhile, the upper level low, as it transitions and shifts, is going to initially pull moisture in from the Gulf of Mexico and then pull that moisture in from the Atlantic. So you have two sources of moisture coming into the mid-Atlantic. Meanwhile, the upper level low is going to send disturbances through the region, enhancing the stationary front and producing waves of moderate to heavy rain at times. For tomorrow, Sunday, what I'm expecting is that we're going to see increasing clouds, temperatures are going to be cooler, showers are going to start to develop, they're going to pop up, they're not going to be very organized tomorrow afternoon, and they're going to increase in intensity as we move into Sunday evening. Monday and Tuesday, we have a strong disturbance moving through. It's going to enhance the stationary front, and what's going to happen is that we're going to see a period of moderate to heavy rain move through the region, and that rainfall will last until Tuesday evening. Then we'll weaken off again with the disturbances, and we're going to have more scattered showers Wednesday into Thursday morning, and then another round of moderate to heavy rain possible on Thursday. So it's going to be a rather wet week, and we're going to need it too because we have deficits over the past 90 to 180 days of, 2 to 5 inches below normal for the region. So this type of rain event is perfect because it's not a heavy, quick downpour, but it's kind of a gradual rainfall. It lets the water work into the soil. So it's going to help a little bit with this deficit that we have here. Not going to wipe it out, but it's certainly going to help. Thank you for choosing NYNJPA weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm meteorologist Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent weekend.